Hi and welcome to a gloriously sunny day here in the Gloucestershire Cotswolds in the UK. I'm Ian Banyard. I'm the founder of Nature Connection World. Sorry, I was just looking for Lola there, making sure she's following me. Founder of Nature Connection World, which is an online community for people who share my passion for nature consciousness and creating a nature connection world. You're welcome to join it. I'll leave a link below this video to our online community. We've got nearly 800 people from all over the world in the community. It's members, it's free membership as well. So free members are in there. People that I've trained as natural mindfulness guides, nature connection guides are in there too. And some of them are also community guides that are training now and learning how to guide members around the site and how to help people get the most from the site. But today I'm out recording another Let's Walk About It video. I haven't done one for a while, and I thought today is such a beautiful, glorious, lovely, sunny day. I just felt the need to come out and share some understandings and insights with you. I never know what I'm going to talk about when I set off. I start walking. That's how I do this. I start walking, I start breathing in some lovely refreshing oxygen that these trees and plants have been releasing all through the night. So lovely fresh oxygen here for me to breathe in, and then I release that breath with lots of tension and toxicity from my body out to feed the trees. So between the two of us, between the trees and myself, we have this lovely connection, a breath connection between the two of us. And as I do that and I relax and I tap into what I call natural mindfulness, I listen. I listen to my instinct. I check in with my feelings. I consider my thoughts, and I tap into intuitive, insightful ideas and senses, or a sense of something. And as I'm walking now, I've just walked into a field behind me. Last time I came into this field, there's one here behind me and there's one here behind me. You can see better in this field. But the last time I came here walking, the field had just been ploughed and seeded and they were just brown fields. But now, as you can see, there's growth in this field. There are plants coming up, and so you can see them better in that field there with the way the sun's catching them. And it's amazing how quickly those seeds have germinated and started to grow. So that kind of brings me to an idea about, let's walk about growth. And when I think of growth, I think of growing up. As a child, I was always very quick. I wanted to grow up really quickly. I remember I used to look at the older kids and wanted to be like them. And not all of them, some of them wanted to be like them. I wanted to grow up. And sometimes when I misbehaved or when I made mistakes, I was told by a parent or a teacher to grow up. I'm still told that sometimes now, even as an adult in my 60s. Sometimes I might say something silly or do something silly, and my wife or my friend will say, grow up, Ian. And so, growing up, like these seeds here, we are, as human beings, part of nature, and like these seeds that grow up, we grow up. But interestingly, plants also grow down. But I don't hear people telling me to grow down. I hear them telling me to grow up. I hear myself wanting to grow up. I tell my daughter, she's 12 now, and I'm saying it's about time you grew up a little and started to become a little bit more self-reliant and less reliant on mummy and daddy. She doesn't listen to me. But she is growing. She's growing up. She's getting taller. She's growing out. She's filling her clothes. She's outgrown some of the clothes she was wearing only a few months ago. She's getting through shoes very quickly. Her feet are growing very quickly. So she's not only growing up, she's growing out. And as in nature, we see that, these plants will grow up and they'll also grow out. But we can also grow in. So we know about growing up, we know about growing out of things. Sometimes there are things I used to do and I used to enjoy doing, but I grew out of that. Sometimes there's some behaviours that I used to do, but I grew out of them. But if there's growing out, there's also growing in. And if there's growing up, there's also growing down. Now I can look to nature and I know that before the stems on these plants grew up, with a tree, when a tree grows, I've planted and I've grown from seeds, lots of trees. And the first thing I notice is, you get a little shoot coming up from a tree, but you also get a root going down. So what's the equivalent of that with us? I mean, we move around, so we don't really want to be rooted to the ground like a tree where we can't move. But we do become rooted in many ways. We do grow roots in many ways, and sometimes people talk about their roots. Are their roots, where their hometown is, or where their home village is. They talk about, well, that's my roots, that's where my ancestors lived. And so we talk about roots in that. And, maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something in terms of us human beings growing down. Maybe we're growing down into roots. I like to think of that linked to my instincts, the DNA I carry in my body that has been passed from generation to generation to generation, and that now lives on in me and lives on in my children who have received that from me and from their mother. Then growing into those roots, I wonder what that's about. I wonder if that's about inner wisdom. I wonder if that's about maybe our values, maybe growing down into something that can provide certainty for us. I certainly know that when I ground myself, when I tap into, interestingly they call it a root tap root, grow down into, tap into my instincts. My instinct, I have an instinct to breathe, I have an instinct to drink water, I have an instinct to eat. Those instincts, those drives are often unconscious because we don't need to be conscious of them because they're within us. They've been passed on to us through our instincts, through our DNA, through our genes. But I believe that as we grow up, maybe growing down is becoming aware. Maybe growing in is becoming aware of an inner awareness, an inner consciousness, maybe a natural, nature-based consciousness that's within all of us, but maybe lies dormant like a seed. But the more we search for it, the more we become aware of it, the more we can understand it and grow it. And yeah, perhaps that's why I'm on this journey of nature consciousness, sharing my nature consciousness, helping people develop a deeper connection with nature in order to develop a deeper connection with their true nature, their own nature consciousness. Maybe that journey that I'm on and I feel guided towards and I feel urged to walk this path and do all I can to share this with others. Maybe that is part of not just growing up, but also, and not just growing out, but also growing down and growing in as well. So maybe there's something in that. What do you think? Were you told to grow up as a child? Did you grow out of things? What are your thoughts on growing down and growing in? These are just thoughts and insights and understandings that are coming to me as I'm walking this path. But that information is coming from, I don't know, is it coming from within me? Is it coming from cosmic Google? Is it coming from tapping into nature consciousness? These are just thoughts and ideas that I'm getting out here, close to nature and close to my true nature. But I urge you and invite you to maybe go for a walk yourselves today and maybe contemplate growth. Maybe look into nature and look at the growth. I mean, this is a wonderful time of year. There's some absolutely gorgeous, I think they're called bull-eyed daisies. They're like the little daisies we get on our lawns in the garden, but these are huge ones. Let's just go a little bit closer here. I'll share these with you. But this is this little meadow here at the top of my walk. There was nothing here a few months ago. When it was still early spring, just finished winter. There were no flowers. It wasn't even this big. But if I just crouch down now, and maybe you can sort of see where my head is. I mean, I'm absolutely almost submerged in these lovely daisies. And let's just get you a little bit closer so you can have a look at these. These are absolutely huge and wonderful, because they're attracting the bees, they're attracting the butterflies. So not only have they grown, but they're enabling and encouraging the insects around to grow as well. And I very much see when nature blooms, when nature flourishes, when we get to the summer like this, and you just see the abundance of nature. That abundance is a form of growth. I like this idea of an abundant mindset rather than a lack, a mindset of less than, or a mindset of lacking. And you can tell the difference between people that have a mindset of abundance and those that have much more of a limited mindset in terms of their behaviour, in terms often of their health. And luckily for us, nature has an abundant mentality, and nature is a reminder to all of us of the abundance around us, if we can. So yes, I encourage you, I invite you to go out today, invest a little time in nature. It's very hot here, so I've waited till later in the afternoon to come out, and I've made sure I've got a hat on, got a little bit of sun protection on as well. I don't want to bring Lola out. She's enjoying herself, but she's starting to pant now. She needs a haircut. She's carrying a lot of fur on her at the moment, and she's dark as you can see. So she's attracting sunlight, and she's feeling it. Oh, this is nice in here. I've just come into this lovely little cool bit, just staying here for a little while. It's a lovely little nook that I walk through from one field to the other. It's a transition, I call it a transition point. So if you're going out today, if you can get a chance, getting out into maybe a space like I've been in today in the countryside, if you're fortunate enough to live near the countryside or be visiting there today, or you can go out into a park, or if you're living in a city, there's often parks in cities, or you can get out into your garden. Or even open the window and allow nature in and breathe, connect to your senses, connect to natural mindfulness, at that state of being I call natural mindfulness. Become more aware of the beauty of the natural world around us and the present moment. There's always beauty in the present moment. There's no worries in the present moment. My worries are always in the future, and my regrets are always in the past. So if I really want to upset myself, I can take my attention to the future, and I can take my attention to the past. But when I'm in the present moment, and there's that little adage, isn't there? The present moment's called the gift. That's why it's a present, because it's a gift. But the present moment, there's no worries here. There's no regrets here. There's no time in the present moment. I always see the present moment as being between. It's the spaces between in the present moment. And often growth is connected to time as well, isn't it? Because we have this concept of time moving on, the seconds, the minutes, the hours, the days, the weeks, the months, the years, the decades, the millennia. We have this sense of growth that comes from having this invention that humans have called time. Lola has no time. I think Lola's only awareness of time is now and not now. And I'm teaching her not now. I'm saying, not now, Lola, not now. Later. She doesn't know a concept of what later is. So I think on that note, I'm picking up that the wind is being caught in the microphone here. So I think that's a good point for me to stop. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for staying with me to the end of this. And do go out and explore nature, connect with nature, but also come back on and share either on this YouTube video, or I've got a link under here as well that takes you to Nature Connection World that I mentioned earlier in the video. I've got a little group on there of people who have been watching these videos. You can see these videos again. I post these videos in that group as well on my community. And that means if you want to ask questions, if you want to go a little bit deeper with these, if you want to add your own videos, you can do that. So you can sort of contribute and collaborate on there as well and share. Okay, so I'll leave it for there. Wish you a great day, and keep growing, whether it's up, whether it's down, whether it's out or whether it's in. Keep growing and stay well. Take care. Bye-bye.